In this video, I will be talking about how to build a given circuit on TinkerCAD. As you can see, we have a circuit on the right with two resistors, a battery of 3 volts, a ground, and wires connecting them. So when I want to build that on TinkerCAD, I just create a project and go start with a blank page, but I need to put a breadboard to play with it. So I already put a breadboard. Now I will use a resistor, 2 of them, to put them side by side. As you can see, I'm first putting it like this, but I need to rotate it, and I can do that by pressing R when I click on it, because otherwise it will be just shorted on the same row here. So I have one resistor now. I will put another one, so it should start where the other one ends. So let's put it here, and I will also rotate it. Okay, so these are connected to each other, but they are not connected to anywhere else. I need to find a battery. Here's a 3 volts battery. I will use this one. So that's all. All I need to do next is just connect them together and complete the circuits. So I start from one end of my battery, go to the positive rail, and now I need to go from there to the first resistor, which is this connection. So I went through from the positive end of the voltage source to the top end of the resistor, which is this one, and then these are already connected, and I need to connect this end to the negative end of the battery. So I will just use a negative rail on here, and I also need to connect this to the negative ends of the coin battery. So now we have a completed circuits. Change these to red and black to make it simpler to follow when you have a more complex circuits. So now I don't need to specifically put something that is signifying the grounds, because like every voltage is relative on the circuits. So it depends on where I am measuring, between which points I'm measuring the voltage. So as I have a circuit now, I can just start the simulation. This circuit is running some currents through it, but I can't see anything. So in order to see that my circuit is actually functioning, I will use some tools which are voltmeters and ammeters. Actually on TinkerCAD they are a single components, which is just a multimeter, and I can choose V or A or R, which is a voltmeter, ammeter or ohmmeter, which is for resistors. So now I have the voltmeter. I will just start with the volt measurements. In order to measure a voltage difference between 2 points, I just put these 2 pins. I connect these 2 pins in between those points. So let's say I want to measure the voltage between this and this pins. Let's connect it this way. So one goes here and the other one goes here. So now my voltmeter, as V is selected here, voltmeter is connected in between this and this point. So what I'm expecting now is, actually let's not forget to change the values of these resistors. To do that, for some reason that is not coming up. Okay, let's start with this. Normally when you double click on this, oh okay, here it is. So let's change this to 4.7 kilo ohms. As you can see, the colors are also changing. Clicked on this. Okay, not working again. I think this is related to my internet connection. 4.7 kilo ohms. Okay. Now what I'm expecting is, from the circuit theory, simple circuit calculations, the voltage 3 volts here should be equally divided in between this resistor and this resistor. So what I'm expecting to see is something around 1.5 volts in between this and this point where I connected the voltmeter. Let's see if that is the case. And yes, I can see 1.5 volts. If I connected these two pins to these two pins, these two spots, I would also get 1.5. And if I just stop this and move this and to here, I'm expecting to see the whole voltage range, which is 3 volts. And here it is, yeah. So for emitter calculation, emitter measurements, I can't just use the same configuration and do this, because like when I just keep the same configuration and press A, it is just shorting. It is just shorting a wire in between these 2 points, this point and this point, which is just disregarding any resistance in between and just shorting the coin battery. So instead, what I need to do is I need to disconnect the circuits. Something like, let's do it like this. So I moved it by 1. So these are disconnected now, and I need to move these. Okay, now when I run the circuits, it wouldn't be complete, and it is just, again, like shorting the circuit, but there is no currents going through the resistors. What I need to do is I basically complete the circuit using the ammeter. So I need to put the pins in between these 2 points. So now the current is starting from here, coming from the positive rail to the first resistor, and then from here it goes to the ammeter, going through it so that it can measure, and it goes back to the second resistor and completes the circuits. So let's see what happens now. Here I'm seeing a value. Let's see if this is reasonable. So I have 3 volts in total, and 4.7 kilo ohm and 4.7 kilo ohm in series, which should be added up. So it is 9.4 kilo ohms. 3 volts divided by 9.4 kilo ohms is around this value, so it makes sense. And if I put these 2 pins like on this ends, just breaking that part of the circuit and connecting using the ammeter, or another part of anywhere of the circuits, I would get the same value as a single current is flowing through the whole circuits. So this is how we can measure and monitor what's happening in our circuits, and we will be using this for the exercises in this lab.